Hi folks, Neil here from Red Winches again. So today just going to talk about what you actually get in the box when you get your King Cobra. So your King Cobra will arrive in one of these boxes. It's mounted to the pallet. There will be a ring of screws all the way around this. So when it turns up, cut the strapping off, you'll find that the box will open. If you undo the screws, you'll then be able to slide the box off of the pallet. Okay. Now it's really important that you remember to keep your packaging, because if for any reason you want to send it back for servicing or there's any warranty issues or anything, we need it back in the packaging that it was supplied in. We can supply you with more packaging, but it is supplied at cost, so we'd rather you just hang on to this just in case. So what you get in the box, other than a winch, you're also going to get another box, and in this box you will find there's loads of extra parts to complement your winch. Okay, so what we've actually got here is the full arrangement of what comes with your King Cobra. So let's start off with something that's brand new for the King Cobra, is this new air solenoid assembly. Okay, so previously we would have the air solenoid that controls the brake mounted up by the Albright, and then you'd have to find somewhere else to put the air solenoid to control your air free spool. So what we've done is we've made this really simple for you guys now. Mount this on the vehicle, normally somewhere behind the grille. Ideally, you want about half a metre, 1.5 feet away from the air brake, because on here you've got two ports with the supplied air line. You'll need to connect that up to this port here on the top of the air brake, and this port down here for the air free spool. And as I say, the air line from the air solenoid to the air brake, about half a metre is the optimum length. The reason for that is it has to build air pressure to release the air brake. If you have a really long air line, what you can find is the motor initially starts to try and turn, and the brake hasn't fully released, and it puts a lot of excess load on the motor, which means you get an amp spike. The wire connections, we've got the 3 terminals here that connect up to the 3 flags across the back of the motor control solenoid here, and you get a plug. Now that plug has this loom, 3 meters long, which means that you can connect into there and run this cable back to your control switches, which is the next thing which is in the box. So you're going to get one switch to control your free spool and one switch to control your winch in and winch out as standard. And these are your typical Carling style switches that will mount on your dashboard. Wiring instructions are in the manual. There are also downloads on the website for all of these as well. But basically all you're doing is sending either 2 feeds from the winch in, winch out switch down this wire here, or 1 feed from the free spool. The assembly itself works like your vehicle. It's effectively a negative earth. So you just want to make sure it's bolted to something metal on your truck. If you don't bolt it to anything metal, then at least run an earth wire, because you see we've earthed here, run an earth wire to something metal on your vehicle. Okay. What else do we get? Well, we get your mounting bolts, so 8.8 grade mounting bolts with washers. Always advise using at least 4 mountings for your winch. You've got power cables. Now, depending on if you've got a single motor winch or a twin motor winch, will depend on the size of cable we supply. But for a single motor, it will be 50mm cable as standard. For twin motors, it'd be 70mm square cable as standard. So we've got a 2 meter long earth cable, and then we've got 2 positive cables. We've got 1.6 meters here to connect to the winch. Buzz bar cover won't be attached when it comes to you. Reason for that, you're going to need to connect your positive cable to that lug there, and then that fits on a couple of the supplied zip ties, and it will all be neat and tidy. So your positive cable is going to run back to the supplied isolator switch, M10 lug at that point, and then finally another M10 lug to the short positive cable to your battery. So those are all the bits that come in the box, but there's one more thing that comes with your King Cobra, and that's rope. Now, for the rope, there are 2 options. Yes, for some of the winch models, particularly like twin motor race, etc., we're supplying it with the competition hook. That rope will come separately. You will need to fit the rope yourself, because if it's already wound onto the winch, how are you going to feed this lot through the fair lead when you install it? So that comes separately. For most of the single motor versions, the rope will be pre-fitted and you'll have your hook supplied loose, because you can drag your thimble through the fair lead and then attach the hook via the clevis pin when you have got it installed on the truck. I'll do a separate video about winch control because there's some other options that we can talk about, but that's what you get as standard with a King Cobra now. Hope that helps.